starts to pour. Down a jukebox shuffle, step in time. Keep it loose, keep it fine. Down a jukebox shuffle, light and sweet. Let that rhythm lift your feet. Spin around by the stool. Play it easy, play it cool. Hand snap low, shoulder sway. Let that record lead the way. Down a jukebox shuffle, drift and glide. Take that rhythm for a ride. Down a jukebox shuffle, don't rush through. Let that bounce carry you. Side by side, shoe step slow. Let it roll, let it go. Little laugh, little spin. That small groove pulls you in. Down a jukebox shuffle all night long. Every step a simple song. Down a jukebox shuffle, riding free. That small groove's the key. Bop, 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 fade low. Still that jukebox.
Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good this evening. You catch me in the middle of making a new hat.
Feel that sway. Let that rhythm lead the way. Open wings, no tight turns. Every mile just gently burns. Skyline stretching.
How's everyone doing tonight? Appreciate you tuning in.
Same beat in every tread.
We are going to be painting a new hat tonight.
Just that steady
And first, we're starting with the sketch. Classic sketching with pencil in hand.
let that rhythm
Then we'll be working on blocking it out. And then we'll be working on details.
smooth and wide. Keep that motion side to side.
Allison, welcome in. Hello to you too. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you hanging out tonight.
Radio hums soft and low. Still that rhythm starts to grow. No sharp break, no delay. Let that swing just stay and stay. Open road swing, roll along. Every mile hums a song. Open road swing, calm and free. That wide groove carries me far ahead.
I'm currently painting an octopus on this. Have to start with the sketch, like I said. But it's a different type of octopus. It's that poisonous blue ring octopus. Very small, very hard to see. Have to pay attention when you go to the beach type of octopus. It's going to take a little time to fully complete this. I've had a few hats sell recently, so I'm due to make some new ones. So I thought I'd pop on here on a live tonight and do another one. Last night I did a live with painting a hat and finished it. So we'll see how long it takes to finish this one tonight.
Still it stays, lost inside these driving days.
Alright, we have a few more little dinks on his head here, and then we're off to the next area, the front of him. So we're gonna make this look nice and smooth, even though he's going to be pretty lumpy, because an octopus is ever changing, and his skin texture is I'm zoning out, sorry. His skin texture is a bit more clumpy and rock-like. Any of you sketch or paint in the comments here? I want to know if there are any other fellow artists or starting artists here. Alrighty, now we're going to be working on the suckers on these arms. And then we're going to move on to finishing the arms in the sketch format.
Still it hits, still it rolls. That same rhythm takes control.
We're on arm number 4 now. And number 4's finished.
Shoot the back, do the back again. Do that back, let it spin. Slide back in, feel that beat. The same rhythm in the seat. No more thinking, just that flow. Feet start moving on their own. Little bounce, easy glide. That rhythm deep inside. Backseat bounce again tonight. Feels so easy, feels so right. Backseat bounce again.
Alright, that's number 5, tentacle down, off to number 6.
Let it ride. Hands tap soft on the frame, still that groove just the same. Shoulder sway without a plan, now you move without demand. Backseat bounce again, nice and slow. Let that gentle rhythm go. Backseat bounce again, light and free. That small groove's the key.
On to number 7.
Lean back low, take your time. Every move falls in line. A little laugh, no control. That same beat just takes its toll. Backseat
And now to number 8.
that same rhythm by your side. Backseat bounce again, smooth and true. That groove stays with you. Fade low, still that backseat rhythm flows.
Alright, and that's all 8 arms sketched up.
Signal strong, let it go.
Yeah, that looks good.
That same sound
I can appreciate that.
begins to flow from the road to city light. Same old rhythm every night. Through the air, through the wire. The same beat won't expire. Far or near, doesn't fade. That groove never slips away. Radio signal.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. Alright, I need to grab some real quick. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let me readjust my camera a little bit. Hello, hello! Hope you're doing well tonight. You caught me painting, or in the sketch phase of painting a hat. I'm currently outlining in a darker tone all the lines I sketched onto this, so I can see it a bit better and more accurately put paint on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alright. So I'm just going to go along and redo every single line that I did. And then afterwards, we will start painting him up. This should be pretty cool. It's going to be a slow and steady process doing this up. I might get quiet here and there. Alright, so we're halfway done now. Now we're on to the next tentacle here. Slowly but surely, good things happen in time. Hats just tend to take a bit longer than most pieces I do. But I can still knock them out relatively quickly. But we be jamming. That is what we be doing right now. I appreciate you all joining me for this. Should be a fun night tonight. Just adjusting something real quick, don't mind me. Okay. Alright. I'm just doing all the textures on his skin right now. Alright. Now let's do the back of him. Let's move down to this lower tentacle next. We're not done up there, but since I flipped the hat, I might as well do the easier to get to spot right now. Right now we're just block sketching this so that I have the idea of where I'm going to be painting when I get around to it. It's just about darkening the area so that I can actually see a lot more clearly on the hat itself what I need to accomplish, what I need to paint over, what I need to finish up here. So as you watch along here, you'll just see my process that I do. And this same process in different versions for different creatures on my hats is exactly what I do for pretty much every single hat I do. Between now and last night, that's how it usually goes when it comes to me painting one of my hats. So, just a little behind the scenes action, you could say. And you get the jam out with me at the same time. Alright. Quite obviously you can see, but we're back on his head. And we're just going to be wrapping that up. Two more. And his head is done. But before it's done, I'm going to add that little thing. And then we're moving on to the final arm, and then we can actually start painting. Oh, we're getting dings in the comments. It's fun to watch you make these. Thank you, I really appreciate that. It's fun to make them and have company. A few more circles on the arms for the suckers, and then the arms should be done. But we need to go along and do all the circles for the suckers all over the other arms. So just a little bit longer. Then we can start painting them up.
Morning light, soft and blue. Still that rhythm starts to bloom.
Alright, one more arm done with
Sky turns gold,
that.
slips away.
Another one done.
That groove is here to stay.
Going for the next one for completion.
Still that beat runs through the line. No begin, no goodbye. That same sound just rose by.
That's another arm done.
Still roll, feel it
On
stay.
to the next.
That same rhythm leads.
Another one done. On to the final one. And the arms are done. Just adding a few dots so I know where to put the blue. We're kind of randomizing this because it'll make it look better. In my opinion, of course. In my autistic opinion, I say the randomizing of dots on his skin would do very nicely. And later on, I might add a background or something to it, so we'll see. Just adding a little thing here, and yep, the sketch is done. Let's move on to paint day. I think for starter, I'm going to do a base coat of... trying to find the name of it here. Base coat of unbleached titanium. A very good color for this application. Now, just picking a brush. I think this will do. Let's begin. We're going to be coating his whole body with one layer of unbleached titanium. And then we're going to let it sit for a minute and dry. And then we're going to go over it again. And then we'll start adding the blue highlights on his skin. Oh, I just remembered. We're going to wait on the blue highlights after the two coats. And then we're going to put the third coat on, which will be a toned, lighter colored yellow to make it pop a bit more on this hat. Because I like myself a sandy octopus, but I'm not going to make one right now. Now I'm thinking about an octopus made out of sand in front of a castle on the beach. The guardian of the sand castle. That's a cool idea. Painting hats tends to be a very time-consuming process, but it is worth it in the end. You have a really cool hat. And, best part, it's very, very durable. So, won't have to worry about it actually falling apart in the weather or the rain. I wear one all the time, and it feels immortal. It's not immortal for obvious reasons, but I tend to wear my hats out. But they last a long, long time. And I pretty much wear a hat every day, so I really put these things to the test. Alright, let's let's finish the arm up. Then one arm out of 7, or out of 8, will be done.
The start of it all night long. Engine runs, radio loud.
Alright, first tentacle of the night is fully complete in the base coat phase. Let me be clear on that, base coat phase. Moving on to the next one here. And this is only half of it, so we'll be moving on to the other half of it. Then we can call tentacle number 2 completed. Alright. Very tight area for this brush, but we'll manage. Almost done, and first base coat layer done. On to the next one. Also, if everyone could like this video and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. You get to come on and see me paint more things on my channel here. I've been pretty consistent lately of being on here about 5:30, 6 o'clock Eastern time. So I would love to have you guys join me. Alright, half the tentacle is done. We're moving on to the final tip bit right here on the 4th tentacle of the night. Very funky, this music. That same rhythm always comes. Alright, I'll be covering up a few of the suckers on his arm here, but I know where they are because I'm leaving enough room to actually see it. Alright, the other arms have started drying, so I'm going to just briefly go over them a little bit. On my way over to start doing the other arms. I see 4 likes on the video. Thank you guys, I really appreciate that. You liking this video means a lot to me, so thank you. It means that you guys like what I'm doing here. Alright, and both of these tentacles are almost coated twice. Then we can move on to this one. We'll probably be coming back to these tentacles just to touch up again, but we're on to the final one here. Alright, and now we're back to the front of him, where we have a few more tentacles to do up, as you can see. There we go. Okay, that's half the tentacle done. Let's do the other half. That's another tentacle done. On to the next one.
Let's begin. Pull on up, feel that sound. This spot's jumping on around.
Getting a little ahead of myself here, but I'm moving up his body a little bit so that it's at least stated that it's covered a little bit. Kind of move time up a little bit for the amount of time it'll take to dry. We'll be going over all these again, of course, like this tentacle here. It's dry enough to paint a second coat on it. And let's finish this one. More than halfway of this tentacle is done. More than half of this tentacle, my bad. I said that English a little bit strange, didn't I?
Side by side, shoes tied below, take it slow, let it roll, little spin, little sway, let the rhythm drift your way, drive and shake around all night long. Every step a simple song. Drive and shake around.
Alright, I'm going to say that tentacle is done for now. Let's do the other one over here in the far end real quick. And then let's move up towards everywhere else on this octopus. The body, mainly. So let's put it in such an angle where I can get to it rather easily. And over time of actually painting on this guy, the paint tends to accumulate paint past the bristles because I'm pressing into the object that I'm painting, and goes above where I can't usually easily paint with it. So I sometimes twirl my brush so that, like this, the paint comes off and I can keep using it and not have to take 5 seconds and dip my brush again for another set of paint. Would you say it's necessary? I wouldn't say it's super necessary to do it, but it's more of a keeping it clean and not wasting just the tiniest bit of paint to actually do it. Alright, the first part of his body is nearly there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. And for the time being, the front of him is done. So we're going to do the tentacle in the very front of him also. Cookie 13. This is amazing. How long does it usually take to finish it? A hat like this, first off, thank you for joining us. A hat like this usually takes me about an hour. If it's simple enough, it can take me 45 minutes. Like right now, I've been working on this one for a solid 40 minutes between sketch to paint where I'm at right now. And I have some more things to do. So this hat in particular might take me an hour and a half. We'll see. We'll see. But good question. I appreciate that. Alright, and with that, we have another tentacle finished with the first coat. So we'll come back to that when it dries off a bit with another coat. So let's move on to the back. Alright, another tentacle down. So, anyone here sketch or paint at all? I'm just curious. Be nice to know if I have a fellow artist here in the crowd. If not, it'd be fine. I'm just curious, mostly. Also, more than halfway with this tentacle. We're getting there. Alright, that paint's dry, so I can put my hand down now. In this certain area. I'm sure it's still wet in other areas. Alright, tentacle over there is done for the time being. So let's do his head now. We did the tentacles and his body. We'll come back to doing those again. But his head is still very, very blue. And I don't mean he's sad. Alright. And I'm kind of dodging in between every single little lump I put on his head solely for the reason of I just want to dodge it so that I don't have to paint on top of this paint again and give it its own solid base color. That's just my personal opinion. You can just like paint over the entire thing, but then you have to like guess the work you did before and then you kind of randomize it, which I'm fine with doing, but I just want to do it this way tonight. Oop. Move the camera a little bit. I just realized I've been pushing it away this whole time. Kind of funny of me. I'm trying to have you guys watch. I'm sure you guys wouldn't be too happy if the camera fell on the floor here. Alright, after his head, we're going to move on and retouch everything we touched with a single coat. And then by that time, this should be dry, and we'll just do the second coat on this too. Then we'll move on to... I think I want to try doing it so that he's a little bit more yellow. I'm starting to zone out a little bit as I zone in here. So, bear with me. That man can play the trombone. Man.
Just fine. Still that swing will always stay.
Alright. His head is almost there. Almost colored in. Oh, I just realized I'm getting out of frame here. I know I said I was going to move on to the things that I haven't touched yet, but it is drying rather quickly, so I can actually go back and touch up now. A lot faster than I thought it was going to be drying here tonight, but that'll be a pleasant surprise in this case. Alright, touch up these last few things with the second coat, and I'm going to take a quick water break. Shouldn't take me too long, but I'm just going to grab a bottle real quick, and I won't be going anywhere. Alright, there we go. The head is painted with 2 coats of titanium Unbleached titanium.
Gas station groove, stop one more beat. Feel it run beneath your feet. Gas station groove, stop back again. We just roll and never end.
Just went down the wrong pipe.
Engine back to right. Still that rhythm inside.
Alrighty, I'm back. Now let's do the front of this guy, shall we? Oh, I need to clean my brush real quick. Alright, we're back on it. So now, this will be the second layer on this part. And I do 2 layers on my hats just to give it enough paint to actually look good. And also, it gives it enough of a base coat so that the color of the hat doesn't bleed through. So, it's making it look a lot nicer. Getting a little tricky in between these lumps I put on him and markings in his skin. I'm going to be painting them blue also, or a majority of them. So how they look right now, as a darker tone of blue and cleaned up a bit, that's how it's going to look. Should look pretty good. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to move on to this arm, and then we'll do his eye area. I would just like to get everything one solid color before I start putting other layers of paint on that are slightly toned different, just so everything's even. Michelle, I'll check in later and see how it turns out. Looking really good. Thank you. Alright, I will catch you later then. Alright, I already did a second layer on this head, but I just want to cover it in a little bit more because I don't like how faded it looks over here. So, just one more layer and it should look good. Yep, I'm happy with that. Cool. Now, we're on to his eye. Should be interesting. I think Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Give somewhat of a coat around it. This area will be a darker tone. So I'm gonna break open my black paint here in a second. Alrighty. In the early stages of painting these things, they always look fuzzy and incoherent. But it's like a picture, or taking a camera and putting it on something. You gotta focus it over time. And then once you get it, you have a perfect image. Alright, around his eye is good. Now I'm going to grab my black paint and use the same color, but just toned with a little bit of black. Alright, let's get on this. Maybe use a little bit more black, I think. It's not getting as dark as I was thinking. Alright, let's try this. Okay, it's watered down a little bit, but I like how that color looks. Now I'm going to use some of the normal color. Yeah, it's looking good. Whole point of that is more shadowing. Alright, I would say that's good for now. I just bumped the camera. Alright, so now, with exception to me doing this real quick, doing his horns up a little bit, we are going to move on to adding blue, the tone of blue we want, inside each and every single mark on his skin that we want to put on there. I'm thinking a good shade of blue will be nice. And I'm going to change brushes from this to this, just to get in there a lot more cleanly. That's a rather thick piece of paint I put down there on accident, so I'll be using that to fill in the others instead of going to the paint palette. And due to how dark these are, I'm probably going to go back over them with a little hint of white on my brush. Dab each and every one of these dots, and then slightly mix them a little bit. Then after this, minus his eye and his upper lumps, we can start detailing him, I think. Oh no. Need to do up his suckers first on his arms. is coming along rather nicely. I'm rather happy with how this is turning out so far. Alright. Flip around and start doing this side. Actually, I'm gonna pop this over here first. And then we'll go to the other side. Actually, no. Hold on. I'll do his two main horns first also. Then the one behind them. And then we can go to the back. Can't really explain it, but it bugs me a little bit just to see half-finished things and moving on to the next thing. I'll have to go over the area right here, though. Again, because I only did one layer on those. Alright. The one in the back here. And then it's free range on his back. I can fill all those in. But again, I'll be going over these again with a slightly different color blue. This is just base coat. The blocking process takes quite a bit of time, I must say. But worth it. And as for this one, since I already did the one below it and they merge kind of, I'm going to just leave a gap so I know where the other one begins and the other one ends. So I don't merge the two and then lose track of it. Not sure if you can see that. That area right there. But yeah. Also, everything I make on here, unless I take it to a show, will be available on my, well, even if I do take it to a show, will be available on my website right here, kaigentile.com. I have a bunch of my artwork up there, and I'm always putting new pieces up there. So if you're interested in anything cool like this hat, or some 8x8 pieces, or even some of my larger pieces, be sure to pop on over there and take a look, because I think you guys might like it. If you like what I'm doing right here, you'll like what I'm doing over there, too. And also, if you're interested, you can follow my Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and keep tabs to see when I'm doing a show, when I make a new piece, or just anything that I post on the socials. And if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers here on YouTube, and I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers on TikTok so I can go live over there. So, it would mean the world to me if you guys could like and subscribe here and on TikTok. Alright, his back's almost done. And I think after his back's done, we'll move on to his arms, like I mentioned earlier. That'll require the white paint. And by the time we're done with that, these should be fully dry because I'm putting quite a bit of paint on these. So I'm not going to do it as quick as I did his skin tone. But I will be back and doing another tone of blue on him just to make him pop a little more than the toned down thing right here. It's all about the colors before you add the bright colors, because once you add, say, black to a piece, unless you're going for a darker tone, if you try to add a lighter color to that, it's going to be darker no matter how many layers of paint you put on it. That's just the experience I've had with it. So it's always good to do a color as a base coat that's very similar to what you're going to be actually painting onto your piece. Alright, and with that, I'm done doing the blue spots for the time being. I'll be adding more along his tentacles and stuff later on, but those are the main base dots on his skin. So let's move on to the tentacles. Let me break out my white paint here, and let's get on that. Alright, it's all set. And off we go. Gonna start up top here first. And we're just gonna be lightly touching these. And this is gonna be a very time-consuming process here, because I have to hand paint every single one of these sucker points. Up, touch the blue. Need to clean my hand off a little. Alright. Back at it. Just gonna have my hand a little higher so I don't touch that blue paint. And also, it can look messy for the time being, because again, we'll be coming back and just detailing everything that needs to be detailed. So, we're still in the blocking phase, like I said earlier. I'm gonna change the music here to some a little more upbeat, with an ad, of course.
Buy one, get one snacks means maximizing his savings potential. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that. you hear about a little bit of run, a little bit of delicate, a little bit of bad, a little bit of what I never, a little bit of that. It takes so much to be a lady. It takes so much to be a lady. It takes so much to be a lady. It takes
Another ad. Oh. Ooh. Funky. First tentacle is done, and we're moving on to the next here. Alright, that's 2 more tentacles done. On to the 4th. Alright, tentacle number 4 is complete. Alright, and this tentacle is almost done. Alright, that tentacle's done. And now this one's up next. Alright, that one's done too. I am on to arm number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 over here. Alright, arm number 7 is done. Let's do arm number 8. Give me 1 second here. Alright, arm number 8. And after this, we can start detailing. And arm number 8 is pretty much done. Alright, all the arms are blocked out. Now the final thing to block out now would be the eye. Alrighty. Eye is blocked out. So the entire octopus, minus these two areas, 1 second. Alright. So now everything on him is blocked off and ready to roll. Now I'm going to start mixing the color blue I want for his back spines and lumps. Alright, blocked and ready to roll. Alright, now I'm going to start adding the little dots all over his arms and stuff. Alrighty. Now for detailing. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. All right. I'm just doing this so that everything is blocked and ready to roll. Then I'll move on to the next step here in a second. Oh, got another like. Thank you to whoever did that. And also welcome in. I hope you're having a great night.
Sports, bags,
Yep.
thermostat.
Commercial.
Because there are 5 a.m. flights in your area, there are drivers in your area.
It's looking good so far. Rather happy with how this is turning out. If I'm not talking a lot, do forgive me, I'm just zoned out. But if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I'll just have to look at the screen here when I'm done. Alright. Oh. That looks pretty good. Rather happy with how that turns out. Alright. I'm gonna sign the lower corner down here, and I will call it a night. Came out rather nicely, I must say. I am rather proud of this. One of the best octopi I've done on a hat, I think. Took a lot of time to focus on it, though. I was quiet for quite a while there. K-A... Hi. That's my name. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I will be back on between 5:30 to 6 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern Time. I hope to see you all there. Now, until next time, guys, have a good night. Bye.